So I wanted to make a quick video to just dispel some of the myths that you may have heard, you may even believe about clinical hypnosis. So the first myth, the first common misbelief that a lot of people have is that when you're hypnotized, you are asleep, and that's not true. You're not asleep, you're not unconscious, you're not out of it, because what's going to happen is you're going to be in a much more relaxed state. And when you're in that much more relaxed state, then I can work more directly with your subconscious. And if you've seen any of my other videos, you'll know that that's where lots of things are happening. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. And actually, when I'm hypnotizing you, I probably want to ask you questions. I'm going to need information from you to try and find out what's really causing whatever problems that you're having. And so I need to be able to respond to those questions. So that's why I don't need you to be asleep. I don't want you to be asleep. I don't want you to be unconscious. So that's the first myth, or very common myth, I think, about clinical hypnosis. The second myth that I want to deal with is this. You cannot be hypnotized to do anything that you do not want to do. So despite what you've seen in movies or TV programs, you cannot be hypnotized to do anything that you don't want to do. One of the primary functions of your subconscious is to protect you, and it will always protect you from doing things that you don't want to do. So when you see people at stage shows or, street hypnosis or whatever, going on stage and they stand on one leg and they cluck like a chicken, those people are actually happy to do that. They're happy to have the audience laugh at them at their expense. And because they're happy to do that, the subconscious doesn't perceive it as a threat. And so the hypnotist, whoever it may be, can actually hypnotize them to do that. Okay. So you cannot be hypnotized to do anything that you don't want to do. That's the second myth I think that's very common about hypnosis. The third myth that I want to deal with is this, and that's the fact that everybody can be hypnotized. I've heard people say to me, oh, I can't be hypnotized, or I had hypnosis once and it didn't work. Well, on that point, if you've had hypnosis and it didn't work, you probably weren't working with a very good therapist. We actually all hypnotize ourselves on a daily basis. We just don't realize it. And we don't call it hypnosis. We call it daydreaming, or we call it, being away with the fairies, whatever it is. We do it to ourselves on a daily basis. To give an example, have you ever been on a journey and you get to your destination, whether you've been driving, on a train, flying, whatever it is, and you can't remember large parts of the journey? That's because at those points you were in a trance. Yeah. So you were actually hypnotized. You were in an altered state of consciousness. Or how often have you sat down at your desk, or you've been at your workstation, or you've been doing whatever it is you do for a living, and you get stuck into a task? You think about 20 minutes has gone by, you look up, and suddenly it's an hour and a half later. Again, you've not been conscious of the passing of time. You've been working at a very subconscious level, and you're well aware of everything that you need to be doing in that job, but you're just not consciously aware of the passage of time. So you've been in a trance, you've been in an altered state. Okay, so that is hypnosis. You've been in a hypnotic state, and we do that to ourselves on a daily basis, day in, day out. So that's the third myth that I want to deal with. The fourth myth that I want to deal with is, if you come to see me physically, then I'm not going to make you lie down on a couch. I don't have a therapist couch. I just have a couple of chairs, comfortable chairs, where we're going to sit. We're going to talk. I'm going to ask you lots of questions. I'm going to listen very intently. You're going to do a lot of talking, and we're going to figure out what's actually going on for you and what's causing the problems, because it's really important to get to the root cause. And you'll hear me say that in probably every video that I'm ever going to make about hypnosis. If we can identify the root cause, we can fix that, then your symptoms are going to disappear. If we just deal with the symptoms, then they're probably going to come back after a week or a couple of weeks or whatever. So that was the final myth that I wanted to dispel. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, click like or leave a comment. And more importantly, if you're suffering from anything at the moment, whether it's stress, anxiety, whatever you want to call it, then jump onto the website, book yourself a discovery call. We'll have a chat. It's completely free of charge. There's no strings, there's no commitments. I want to find out, first of all, if I can help you. And secondly, I want to find out and make sure that you are comfortable working with me as a therapist. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.